you don't really know anything about Kawaki.
What the f?
Yeah, you heard me right. You don't truly know Kawaki, especially if you're only a manga reader. And honestly, it's not just Kawaki, but for this video, I'm mainly going to focus on him. So yeah, you know the basics. You know he was an orphan who was raised by Jigen in a brutal environment so he could become a vessel. You know he has trust issues, and you know why he's extremely protective of Naruto. But that's exactly where the anime comes in. The anime actually shows us Kawaki's full story. It shows him growing up with an abusive alcoholic father. It shows how the people in his village constantly looked down on him and bullied him because of how he lived and who his father was. And when Kawaki finally thought he had made a real friend in his miserable life, it turned out to be a lie. The man was a human trafficker who had been targeting him from the start. And it doesn't even stop there. Kawaki's own father literally sold him off to strangers for money. When you know all of this, you start to understand why Kawaki is so emotionally broken, why he struggles to trust people, and why he became so attached to Naruto to such an extreme degree. Naruto was the first person who genuinely gave him warmth, safety, and love without expecting something in return. If you only read the manga, you don't fully get that emotional context. That's why, when I see people constantly overhating the anime, it feels disingenuous to me. I understand criticizing the pacing or some anime original arcs, but acting like the anime added nothing valuable is just unfair. The role of an anime adaptation is not only to adapt the manga, but also to expand the world, build emotional connections, and make people care more about the characters. And in my opinion, the Boruto anime absolutely succeeded at that. And it's not just Kawaki either. The anime did the same thing for Mitsuki, Team 10, Kara, and many other characters. The manga often moves too fast to fully explore these people because it's monthly, while the anime actually gives them room to breathe and develop. I'm not saying the anime is perfect, and I'm not saying it's better than the manga. What I'm saying is that a lot of people are biased against it because the internet already decided that the anime is bad, so now people refuse to acknowledge anything good that it did. Ironically, for many fans, the anime is the reason they became emotionally attached to these characters in the first place. So yeah, I'm just saying that we should acknowledge the good things about the anime too. Let's not always focus only on the bad parts whenever people talk about it. For example, the fights in the anime are genuinely great. Most people agree on that. And the crazy part is that they're not even just copies of the manga panels. Studio Pierrot actually extends a lot of these fights by adding original choreography, extra sequences, smoother transitions, and moments that make the battles feel even more impactful. That's something I genuinely appreciate about the anime. Instead of doing a frame-by-frame adaptation, they sometimes take what was already good in the manga and elevate it. Some of the most memorable moments in Boruto hit harder in animated form because of the direction, animation, music, and the added scenes. And honestly, I hope they continue adding original content to the story, but meaningful content. Content that expands characters, relationships, world building, or emotional moments. Not content that feels pointless or disconnected from the main narrative. Because when the anime adds substance, it actually improves the overall experience and helps us understand the characters and world much more deeply than the manga alone sometimes can. In conclusion, just acknowledge the good that's in the anime too. That's all I'm saying.